All right, it's cold and it's raining and it's not good for much else, but I thought maybe we would work on this Super 66 some more. So we're gonna get started on that right after this. Welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, you're probably lucky. But if not, I'm Ross the Oliver Man. This here's a Super 66. Last time we worked on putting these super expensive gauges in so that it might actually register oil pressure and such. And so now, in that process, we had a meltdown of this push button, which we had last year, and I made 1 out of 2 because I was getting tired of these buttons going bad right away. So that didn't last us very long, so I ordered another new one, and we're going to try to swap that out. Also, I got a different battery. That battery that was in here was brand new, and I was not happy with it because first of all, it wasn't the number of battery that I usually use, and second of all, it was older, I guess, sitting on the shelf in the store, and it didn't seem to want to participate. Like, it would only crank for a minute and then it would be half dead. So we don't need that from a brand new battery. Now, our next order of business, I guess, is going to be to try to get in here and see what we find. Everything should come apart easy, because we've had it all loose in the last year or so. Probably would have been easier to do this, you know, before I put those gauges in, but I didn't have the button. Also, the button didn't fail until we were halfway through this, so. Kinda, sorta, maybe. So basically the top has 3 things going to it, and then the bottom one has only the starter going to it. So we just need to make sure we get all of the stuff hooked up in the appropriate place. Like there, I just laid that cable aside. We don't want to forget about it and then not have it do the thing. And yes, this is another one of those procedures that it would be a lot easier if a guy would take the hood off. But taking the hood off involves a lot of bolts and stuff. And I think we can just suffer through it since there's only one thing we're doing here. Had I known that the button was going to fail, maybe it would have been worth taking it off because we would have done gauges and this, but I don't know. I think we'll make it. All right, cables are loose. Next thing is going to be getting the screws that retain it loose, and I believe those have 7/16 nuts on them. Let's try this 1/4-inch drive ratchet, and we'll probably have to go get a screwdriver to hold the outside. I don't know if it will just participate. It'll probably get almost there and then spin, because that's usually how life goes. I don't know. Is it going? Maybe. I don't know. It's really miserable weather and probably a better day to do something indoors, but I just have to be outside. I can't stand to be indoors. Maybe I'll get over it here in a little bit and then go inside and do something, but we have several carburetors we could rebuild. Okay. Well, it's pretty obvious that we're going to lose this lock washer because I can't seem to maneuver my fingers. Oh, yeah, I got it. Just put the switch out there. What it has done, I'm sure, we could pry this one apart and see, but it has burned the contact inside again to the point of no return. And so, I don't know. I wish they would make a good quality switch. Installation is the reverse of removal. So, don't expect to see much difference. This poor tractor, it's got a brand new engine and it hasn't hardly done a thing because it's been constant little problems like this that have just kept it from being usable. I mean, brand new parts failing. That's pretty frustrating, friends. Come on there. Stay put. We're getting there, friends. It's just a slow going affair. We're working around that water temperature cable, and that's just the way she goes. All right. I gotta pretty well just do it by feel because I can't actually get my arm in there and see at the same time. Oh boy, I'll put that on there. Is that on there? Oh, yep. Get it tightened up before we get too carried away. Should probably just put wing nuts on these because we'll be taking it off again probably. I can't imagine that this switch is made any better quality than the last two. Now we got 3 things to put on there. And get in there. Well, get in there. Whoops, that's not the right one. Get in there, you. Oh, this is going to be a struggle bus because I won't be able to get all of my stuff in there whilst holding it. Ooh, bad carpal tunnel there. Can't hardly. Dang it. Well, now we've undone it all. So that's nice. Let's just... Okay. Now, let's try. We probably don't even need that, but I thought it would be cool to use it. Nope, I guess we're not using that. I am really struggling, friends. I cannot get my I gotta like, that's a little bit better there. I mean, come on now. We just came off of there. There's no reason why you can't get on there. Nope, strike two. I'm running out of pieces. I've dropped them all. Using stuff from the old switch now. There. We finally get it. That was a struggle, friends. And it's still not what I want it to be. Well, I'm not enamored with that, but well, time will tell, friends, whether that's going to work for us. Now for the fun thrill of stuffing the battery down in there. This battery looks smaller than normal, but it's the same number that I usually get. If I haven't said that before, I have pretty well the same battery in absolutely everything, other than some of the ones where the battery box is unique, like the 55 series Olivers and whatever. But all these little ones all have this same battery in it, with the thinking that if I had it set up for that and something fails, all I gotta do is grab a battery out of another one and it'll go right in. But I want to keep a battery in everything, because I'm a believer that if you have to switch batteries, you probably won't use that one. You know what I mean? You're more likely to grab a battery or use the tractor that already has one in it. You know what I'm saying? I need two hands here for what I'm doing. I think I'm gonna have to try to go, I wanna go under this handle. And I want to put this on. I don't know that those make a difference, but they seem to. All right. Slowly, progress is being made. It's not been overwhelmingly successful, but I'm cool with it. Let's see if we can light this up somehow. Probably not. Maybe if you pulled the battery over, dum-dum.
You had that coming, dum-dum.
Manganese or whatever that's not really brass, whatever that stuff is. It could be bronze or something, but it doesn't play ball like you think it would. All right. Now, we should be, slide that over. I'm still not convinced that this starter doesn't also need attention, because it's been acting goofy too. Almost like it's got a dead spot in it. Look at that. Fires right up. Charges the battery. It's got oil pressure. It's got headlights, which made that really kick on. Never underestimate what a good battery can do. Beautiful. Still needs a little bit of carburetor. It probably needs to be taken off and cleaned because it's sat more than it's been used, and that's never good for them. Also, I'm pondering, oh, there's the screw. I need to get better side material here. These aren't very good. I was gonna get some this spring and didn't do it. But yeah, really this tractor needs all new sheet metal. It came out of a woods, and it's obvious somebody like ran it into a tree, and this was caved in all the way. I don't know. It's better than I found it. That's awesome. So, with that being said, we are really doing pretty good here now. I still have 2 oil pressure gauges to go. Maybe we want to continue on and put the other oil pressure gauge in there. That's what I bought it for, because that one was a no-go too. So we'll slide our box of tools over there. I think, oh, I knocked a wrench on the ground too. That's good to know. I think what I'm gonna do for now is pull this forward. Anywho, what I was just saying is I think I'm gonna pull this forward for now, because I could then go get that 1365 and put it in the shed so that it's not sitting out getting dumped rain on. It was pretty dirty though, so I didn't mind that it got a little bit of rain on it. And then the other thing is, I can't remember if I need to add some water to this. That's where I got called away the other day. I was right in the middle of that, and I got the jugs up at the house to put water in them, and I never got that done. So yeah, look at all this garbage we've accumulated on our platform. Why don't we just put all of this in the toolbox? Tractors need something in the toolbox, don't they? I mean, isn't that just a rule to have things in the toolbox? Let's put these in there. Look, we got a rake tooth, 2 teeth I found out there in the field, because that's great. I don't know what this is. Oh, that's that. I was wondering about that the other day. Did I ever put that on, or is that an extra? And you don't even know what I'm talking about, but I did do a video on that a good while back. And what I'm talking about, whilst I'm wasting time so that I can keep picking up garbage, is the brakes on this tractor were horrendous, of course, because it was in the woods. But the one side was super cobbled up, and these nuts, adjuster nuts, are different. They are different than Yeah, I put one on there. They're different than like the 77 and 88 size, and I couldn't find one, and I had stuff wedged in there and didn't really have any brakes, and I think I need to tighten that. Do I need to tighten it up? Am I thinking of something else? I might be thinking of something else. I drove another tractor the other day and I thought, the brakes aren't working very good on this, but this one might be. I might have got it squared away just because. Yeah, I guess I did. But anyway, the moral of the story is those brake adjusters are super hard to find, those nuts. And I found a couple of them or whatever, and I bought them, and I put one on, and I guess I put the other one in the toolbox. But that would only affect you if you had a disc brake 66 or a Super 66 or probably a 660. But anyway, why couldn't they just make those the same? They were so much about parts interchangeability and stuff. It would have made a lot more sense if they would have just made all of those brake rods the same size, like the same thread diameter at least, and then they could you know, use the same adjuster hardware and stuff. If you want to make different brake disc size, okay, but you would think that they could have made it where at least those nuts were the same, because that's not an easy piece to really make in a mass quantity. You would have had to set up a special jig to machine it, because it's a tapered affair, you know. I assume that they would start with a long, like a what do you call those, like a rod nut, and then they turn down everything that wasn't a hex maybe, but then it's also only threaded in the ball end. So I don't know, it just makes you wonder why they, when you were trying to save money here and there, that would be one thing that I would think right away you wouldn't want to make a special piece, but whatever. What do I know, you know? That's beautiful. Let's pull it forward. Listening to it run now because it hasn't run very much. My plan is to use it for something here this fall. I got in my mind, just so that it gets some action. So anyway, we're not going to be too particular about how it's in here. We'll just pull it in enough that I can get another one behind it for now. Now the question becomes, how do we want to get over to there? Well, I got an idea. I guess that would be the least offensive way to climb. Then we'll have to get off again to turn on the gas and stuff like that. Test run it, but I don't know. It's a rainy day and I got to do something outside or I don't feel like I've accomplished anything. All right, 66. This tractor I bought just like it is, basically. In other words, restored. So, I haven't done a lot with it other than the stuff maybe on camera. I guess I did a little off camera because that was before YouTube. But it had, I think it had like even cheaper gauges than this in it. So I put these in because that's what I put in everything. And was so happy, but now the oil pressure doesn't work. So that's where we are. But I like the look of those gauges. I just wish that they would hold up. So other than that, and the fact that I think we rewired it. I put all new lights on it because it had original lights, and then he put like LEDs in them, but I didn't like the way that looked, the type of light. It just looked strange to me, and I couldn't let it go, so I just did the thing, you know. But basically, then what else did we do to it? Well, we did that head job on it a year ago or so, and I also think I put a different gas tank in it because one time I took it to the fair and then it leaked all out. I'm sure I put that belt pulley on it. The side curtains were not painted when I got it, but they came with it, and they're super rough. I should probably find a better set of those. I'm trying, as life goes on now, and I make a little bit off these YouTube videos, I'm trying to improve my stuff and make them the best they can be to a point. In other words, like, get some better sheet metal here and there and whatever, but it just takes time because that's expensive. This one also needs this seat rebuilt, and I had all the stuff to do it, and then the other day I sold it to a guy because they were back ordered on those seat rubbers, and I said, well, I've got a set here, I'll sell you. So I sold him the bushing kit and the seat rubbers and a seat assembly, which I don't normally sell stuff, but it was another YouTuber, and I felt like I would do him a favor. I don't know if you'll ever see that video or not. He was probably so frustrated rebuilding it that he may never let that video see the light of day. I don't know. All right. Can we fix it? Maybe this one's leaking. Is it? I don't remember. What I'm trying to do here is not bust my Knudsen, because there. Put the belt pulley in gear so that if I lean against it at some point, I don't go sliding away forever. But basically, we're working over our head here. Except for the fact that we have a problem, because I guess I cleaned away those tools, but I'm going to need a 3/8 to get that loose, because that's what those are. So let me go outside and get soaking wet, and we'll make it happen. But I got to get a 3/8 to get that off, and then I think the rest of it's straightforward and we'll be good. All right, I'm getting pretty good at tractor acrobatics, except for one thing. This isn't going to fit, and I thought sure that's what it was. I should have brought both the wrenches that were laying there from the other day when we did it. They were both still laying there, not put away. But I didn't do it. Are you still there? I tell you. See, that's too big. I anticipated the problem though this time, that it wouldn't be right. I brought an adjustable. So that's odd. That for some reason must be metric. So I don't know where I got that oil line kit from, but it is different. I see it's got that big Taduji on there. I wonder if that's leaking a lot, because I got an oil line kit on the kitchen table and I can't remember what I got it for, and I'm wondering if this was the winner. Well, before I switch sockets and regret it, let's get that adapter off of there. Adapter! Are you gonna fit, or are you metric as well? Feels like it's metric as well. Because why not? Now, can we get this one out of there? Oh. That's too big. I thought that was 3/8. So, okay. Wrong one. It's a lot harder to do when you're hanging upside down. Maybe. Maybe. Come on, baby doll. There. Set that down so I can catch all the pieces. Come on out of there. Uh-oh, what was that? Oh, the gauge just self-destructed or something. What the heck? Huh. Well. Oh, that's a bummer too, right? No. That'll stay. Okay. Talking to myself. I think we're good. We just need to get... Let's put all this together so in case someday we learn a skill like how to fix gauges, we'll have a whole pile of them to play with. I don't think we'll learn that skill, but it would be cool if we could. All right, out with the old and in with the new. The new is much more colorful. That part I like, but the rest of it I don't really understand why we can't make a gauge that just lasts, you know. These are super expensive, and also they are not priced in a way that it's any cheaper to buy a set of 3. So that's why I went ahead and bought a couple of these, because if the other gauges crap out, I can just order individually the other ones. I'm not saving any, there's no money savings. Like sometimes you buy a set of 3, you get, you know, $5 or $10 less. But according to what I saw, they were priced pretty well what they are. Am I on the right thing? I should probably look. Yeah. Okay. Got worried there for a minute that I might be in the wrong gauge. I need to make sure that that's level. I don't know that it is. Let's try that. Now, would these happen to be the same size, or did we determine that they're something different on the last tractor? Come on. Come on. All right. Now let's get our fitting, adapter fitting put on there. I think it's already got like a thread sealer on it. So I think we're good to just screw it right on there. I don't remember, was this the size? I got so many sockets here. I think it was we were on like an in-between type size deal where we weren't getting, come on baby. There. 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 Now I gotta go fishing for the little nut which slid down the tube. Let's put that back in there. Oh, you know what? We're gonna have a heck of a time testing this with no battery in it, aren't we? Well, that blows. I really don't want to take the battery out that I just bolted down solid in the other thing. Well, today might just be imagination for this one, and we'll just pretend. Maybe I could scrounge up. The jump pack is over in the pickup, so it might run off the jump pack if we want to check it and see that we've got oil pressure. I guess, maybe, sure. Just got to remember how I got this one. I didn't change everything, and I got the cables, whatever he had on here, and I don't know where that ground cable really is headed, but hopefully it's doing what it's supposed to. Let me do some searching around here. Maybe the maybe that junkyard tractor has a battery in it. I don't remember. If it does, I'll rob it and put it in here, and then we'll try to fire this up. If not, maybe I'll just get the jump pack and see if it'll run off that. Give me a minute. All right, well, I hate to disappoint the audience, but I don't have a loose battery close by, and I really don't feel like lugging that jump pack over top of everything. So I think we're gonna leave this one here. There's no reason why that gauge won't work. It's just one of those things, you know? So I'll get another battery, even though I've been buying them like they're going out of style, but I'll buy another battery and put in there, because this is another one that if it had a battery in, I would use it more. The 60's got a battery in, but it's a reverse post battery, flip-flopped around, because that's what it took to fit in there right. You can have like a 7526 or 7526R, which is the same battery with the posts on the opposite side. I just realized that the stickers are peeling on there for some reason. That ain't cool. But that's kind of odd for a tractor that basically sits in the shed. Huh. Anywho's, I think we're gonna leave this one here. Rubber snakes and all. Probably should move it so that the birds don't think it's fake, like this kink in the tail. Yeah. But anyway, what I'm getting at is, how does a snake lay? There, now, probably should be coiled up more, but then they can't really see it. I don't know. Who knows? Anyway, what I'm saying is, we'll just call this video here. We saw one setup work. We got the Super 66 ready to run anytime again, and that's what I was after. So that's a win for that. We've had this running this year, so that's no big deal. I think the only thing I haven't had running is that 70, and I might have had it running for a second, but it should probably be started again at some point, just to try to keep them all limbered up. Freddy's over there. I had him running here a while back. We need to take him out and use it, but this we need to take out and do some spot spraying, so we'll be using that. We're about done with the Super 55, so we could put it away somehow, but I don't know. It's hard to keep a whole bunch of them going, but at the same rate, a lot of these were left for dead in the woods, so I feel like I have done them a favor, better than the way they were. So everything in here practically, with the exception of this one. That one was a runner when it came, but that one was not. This one sat here stuck for years. That one was in the woods. The 60 was on all crappy tires, no sheet metal. The 66 came as a runner. Super 77 came as a runner, but then quickly went downhill. Junkyard tractor over there came as a not runner. So pretty well, yeah, we've accomplished something, even if it doesn't seem like it. Things are looking up, you know. I'll get some more batteries, and then we can hop on and go, because that's what I want. If you keep a battery in them, keep it where you've got the gas shut off, you know, and the battery disconnected until you're ready to use it. I find that they will start the next time you want to use them. And then if they have that stuff in them, you will use them versus if they don't. Because if you have to go hunting a battery like now, I just gave up on it instead of taking something out of something else. And that's the way it is if you would want to use it. You'd be like, oh, forget it. I'm not getting something out. That one can sit here and I'll use something else. So anyway, that's what the plan is. And then we'll try that gauge and the next time we mess with it and just see. It should work fine. That leaves the only one that we haven't changed the gauge in the Super 55. And curious enough, while I was using it more, it did kind of move a little bit, but it's not anywhere close to what it actually would be. So it is interesting that it finally started moving again. But yeah, we will change that out and then also probably swap the charging gauge out on it. So maybe I just want to order another set of them for that, because that is so hard to get the dash apart on that one that maybe it would be better to just order a set of these right quick and put those in that tractor, and then it would have a complete set of these, and then we wouldn't have to worry about it again. In theory, at least that's always the theory. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but yeah, I think that I'm going to call this one here because I've just been rambling, but hey, it's a rainy day. What else is there to do? So we'll leave this one here. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.